Hello everyone, welcome to Pairfect, the ultimate lifestyle show where we highlight the innovators shaping our world. I am Dinah Ventura. So today we're joined by the two incredible founders of Remedy Skin Solutions, a brand that's transforming skincare. Specializing in acne treatments, scar solutions, and laser facials, Remedy makes dermatological care simple, accessible, and effective. With a foundation in solid science and a passion for innovation, their treatments are both reliable and sustainable. So without further ado, let's welcome Dr. April Geraldez, Rivera, and Paul Rivera. Welcome to Pairfect.
Thank you,
Thank
Dina.
you.
So, how are you both this afternoon?
We're good. Happy to be here. Thanks for inviting us over.
So you have 3 branches right now, or 2?
We have 2, but we're opening our 3rd branch in March, so that's going to be in Greenhouse.
I see.
We opened the first one in 2019, 3 months before the pandemic. So that was in BGC. We expanded to a second location in 2023, and that's in QC.
In Quezon City.
Quezon City.
Okay, so let's start with how you two came up with this remedy clinic as a business. Let's start out with your backgrounds and how you came up with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll go first because
Yeah.
she's the more important part. So my background is primarily in business and technology. I was originally born in the Philippines. I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area. Started my career in tech at Google. I left Google to start a BPO call center in 2007. Moved back to the Philippines in 2009. Met April in 2010. And in 2013 started a company called Caliber, which is an online recruitment platform with about 8 million people now. And after doing that for about 7 years, joined April to co-found Remedy, which is something that we've always talked about doing, but wanted to do a lot of preparation and research before doing it.
So I'm a board certified dermatologist, but my passion for dermatology, acne, it really started when I was young. Starting the age of 11, I was already going to the dermatologist every week.
Wow.
And this was happening like for months, years. And the reason behind that was because my mom, so acne is genetic. It has a genetic predisposition.
see.
So my mom suffered from acne growing up. And during her time, she had no access to proper care.
Treatments, yeah.
So she was left with scars, and then so she vowed with her children to really make sure that we get the proper care. And yeah, so I think that's really where it started. So early on, I was exposed to dermatology. It wasn't as popular as it
At
is
that time,
now.
yeah.
As it is now, definitely. So that started when I was a teenager. Even as an adult, I was experiencing acne. So it's
But you
really
still look so good,
something. That's why I became a dermatologist because I wanted to treat my own skin.
Yeah.
So I think it's been a lifelong passion of mine, and I think I'm lucky to
Yeah.
be an acne sufferer. But because I think if I hadn't suffered from acne, then Remedy wouldn't
Have
be
been
born.
Yeah. So when did you start talking about putting it up and finally opening Remedy?
So I started my practice. I was practicing cosmetic dermatology back in 2006. Back then, it was primarily hospital-based dermatological clinics. So I had an opportunity to work as a managing physician in Bello Medical Group, where she definitely pioneered cosmetic dermatology in the Philippines. Early on, she was one of the few centers that had lasers.
Yeah.
So I had early exposure to that, and it was like very, very interesting. After spending about 6.5 years there, I decided to I decided that I already learned everything that I wanted to
Yeah.
learn on the cosmetic side. And then I decided to go back to school. So I went to UST. So it's very different experience. This is a school that's been around for 400 years. And it's a semi-public hospital. So patient-based, it was very different. Back in Bello, we were treating patients for aesthetic concerns, for plastic surgery. In USC, it's exact opposite. It's patients coming to us in late stages of the disease. We would see a lot of patients with acne, not knowing what to treat. We didn't have any lasers. So, and there, the focus was really developing your clinical eye, correlating what you see with the etiology, meaning what's causing the disease, what are the risk factors, what can you do lifestyle-wise to improve it. So it wasn't just let's treat the symptoms. Let's get to the root cause.
And it's
deeper
into
so
the
deeper.
problem.
So that was in really my purpose, because I really wanted to go deep and really treat the conditions that I see from a holistic perspective. So even in residency, I was already thinking about opening my clinic. And so imagine when I was 11 until 2016, and after
really
I
a passion,
graduated,
yeah.
yes, that's a long time. It's decades in the making. After I graduated, there was still no clinic that specialized in acne and acne scars. So that's surprising.
So that your experience led you to offer remedy treatments that are different from others. Would you say? Can you tell us about how you developed those?
Back then, again, I think there was a transition, like early 1990s, 2000s. It was like hospital-based clinics, and then there was the introduction of cosmetic dermatology. But all of the clinics were offering a multitude of things. Because when you talk about dermatology, we actually are taught to treat conditions, diagnose and treat conditions of the skin, hair, and nails. So it's a big scope. So a lot of people think that it's just the skin, but it's actually those three. So going back, so a lot of derma clinics would treat everything from laser hair to plastic surgery. But with remedy, my goal was really to go narrow and deep. To focus. There's so many innovations, so many new things happening now. And I knew I could really confidently treat it and deliver the results, because they coming from my experience as a patient and then as a doctor. So, and I really built the clinic that I wish I had growing up as a teenager with acne. That's why it's very different.
What do you mean by that? Like from the way it looks to the way the service is?
So it's very different. I'm not sure if you've been
I've
to the
been
clinic.
to the one in Vertis.
Oh, okay, yes.
I really like the way it looks.
Thank you.
It's so nice. It's so comfortable, welcoming.
Thank you.
Yeah, the people are so friendly.
Yes. So yeah, I think that's definitely part of the remedy experience. So again, coming from decades ago, the experience was you go to a white room, first come, first serve. You wait 5 hours to be seen for 15 minutes. The consultation isn't really a consultation. It's like the doctor looking at you and then prescribing medicine. Everyone is just waiting, cramped in seats, and you all have acne, so parang nakakaya to look around. So I just really wanted to improve the experience. I wanted to create a space that was warm, welcoming. It's not daunting. It's like your second home. You feel comfortable going there. You feel comfortable sharing your skin concerns, because like it's something that people really, not a lot of people feel comfortable talking about.
I guess not many people talk about it, right?
Yeah. So
but what they'll talk about more is like, I really like going to this clinic because they won't talk about, no, I don't want to go to that clinic because.
So the ambiance plays a big part. The name itself, remedy, we really aim to be a remedy for the skin conditions that we treat. the color to the branding. I remember Paul, whenever I'd go to the clinics, he wouldn't feel comfortable waiting for me because most of the clinics are gold, chandeliers. In Remedy, we actually have a lot of male patients. And they
see.
feel comfortable
Yeah,
there.
I was gonna ask about that. So what are your specialty treatments? Like, so there's acne. Is there anything else?
Acne and acne scars. When we first opened Remedy, we really started with a handful of curated treatments that were done really well.
Yes.
And they didn't only treat acne, but they also treated sequelae, meaning if you have redness, we can also treat it. If you have post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, we can treat it. So it started with that, and then it actually naturally evolved as our patients resolve their initial concerns. They look to us to solve their other concerns. So now actually we've expanded our initial set of services to include anti-aging treatments, rejuvenation, some
That's
body
also a
treatments,
big market, I suppose.
soon hair. Yeah, so
it's expanding as you go along, but it's
Yes,
really acne that's the main
Core.
specialty, the core. And as you said, that's a problem that hits both male and female. So how have you managed to attract the male market? I don't think men would like to to say that they go to the doctor. for
yeah,
that.
I know. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's surprising because back then only females
Yeah.
would be seen.
Right.
But I think like if you look to at our neighbor South Korea, you go there, like men wear
Yeah,
makeup.
actually, they
so
helped
now
change the mindset.
yes, change the mindset. Now, like men are more open. They also have skin concerns.
Right.
Now there's a place where they can feel comfortable
Yes.
going to. So yeah,
It's not too feminine.
not too feminine.
Yeah, I think when men see other men in the clinic, because we visit the clinics, and when you see other men in the lobby, you're like, okay,
Yeah, it's okay.
okay, yeah, it's welcoming.
Right, right. So what's your role in the business?
So I'm the COO. I run the non-medical
Okay.
side of the business, so
Alright.
all of the boring stuff, finance, HR, legal, and the business operations. April focuses on the medical, the R&D, especially, and identifying new problems that we want to solve, such as hair. I don't think you can solve my problem, but we might try.
Okay, so yes, let's talk about how you two have built this business together after a short break.
Okay.
And this break is brought to you by Meralco, ang liwanag ng bukas. SM, we've got it all for you. Smart. Live more today. Union Bank. It starts with you.
Usapang OFW is the show that honors the journeys of our modern-day heroes, our OFWs. Join Chingmi Fernandez, John Dodson, and Rafi Ayang every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. to hear the real stories behind the sacrifices. Watch it live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Tribune now on YouTube, and Daily Tribune Official on TikTok.
Want to hear from thought leaders shaping our world? Straight Talk with Chito Lazada and Ted Montalibano dives into leadership, politics, and business every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Catch conversation live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Tribune now on YouTube, and Daily Tribune Official on TikTok.
Ready for the hot takes of today's biggest issues? Hot Patatas with Vernon Velasco and Carl Magadia delivers the news that matters. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. Tune in live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Tribune now on YouTube, and Daily Tribune Official on TikTok, where the real talk happens.
Utol, once just a colloquial term for a brother or sister, today the same term stands for a better option to your transportation needs. Unified Transport Operations League, or better known as UTOL, was established to give you an alternative to ride-hailing, with the concept of availing the service with care and compassion, as if it was rendered by your own sibling.
Utol ka ba? Dito ka na. Utol ka, iingatan kita.
Now, who would you prefer to drive you home?
Utol ako, mangangalaga sa'yo.
UTOL, the ride-hailing app to consider.
And we're back on Pairfect. We're still here with the Riveras, Paul and April. Okay, so you two have built something great together. Can you tell us about how you two met
Yeah.
and how your relationship developed and then became a business partnership too?
We met in 2010 through a common friend while April was still working at Bello Medical Group.
Okay.
And I think what attracted me to her, and hopefully what attracted her to me, was I think very early on in the relationship, we started to vision out like what would our ideal futures look like? What would we want our life and lifestyles to be? You know, maybe at this stage of our lives. We kind of write it down, we would brainstorm and constantly kind of iterate around this vision of a life. Once we had that vision, we had to then figure out, well, how do you enable it? I've always been an entrepreneur, and so I guess I infected April with that entrepreneur virus, and we both realized that in order for us to realize this vision of a life that we wanted together, we would need to start a business. And pretty early on in the relationship, we figured it would probably be a business in the skincare industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, so that I think was alignment that we found very early on. You know, April decided to first go back to school. Initially, I was like, why do you need to go back to school? You're ready. You've been trained by the best. And let's start. But she was very passionate about becoming a board certified dermatologist to increase her credibility and to increase her knowledge about the problems that she wanted to solve. So while she was studying, and I think soon after studying, we really began to prepare for Remedy, and I guess what is Remedy today.
Nice. How long did it take you to plan for the kind of clinic that you had in mind?
We started working on it 2016. I took the board exam 2017. So we opened November 2019.
Just
so
before
I'd
the
say,
pandemic.
Yeah, so I'd say it was like two and a half
2.5
years
years.
of in the making, because a lot of thought went to it. We didn't just want to create another
I know,
clinic.
right.
Yeah, I think that's also what's enabled us to survive the pandemic.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what was that like when you
Yes.
opened?
So we
and
opened
then-
it.
Terrible.
Yeah, so how did you get
so
through
we
that?
I know. So we opened November 2019. We were actually one of the first clinics who became active in like social media channels. So I think that was the first thing that we did differently. But early on, we were already looking into like online consultations. So when the pandemic happened, we were actually one of the first clinics to pivot.
I see. Because
so
that was already something you were
It was
looking
already
into.
something
Okay.
that we did and worked on in the past. So we were able to take care of our patients even if the clinics were closed. So I think that really helped a lot, because during the pandemic, everybody had stress acne. Everybody had mass knees. So yeah, so just being there when they needed us, I think that really helped.
Yeah, that's good. That's good for you. But you know, how long have you been running the business together?
5 years now.
5 years now. So I suppose that's not all smooth. What kind of challenges do you encounter working together, being a couple and as business partners? I mean, is it hard? Or do you have any?
Yeah.
And how do you overcome those challenges?
I think you may imagine it to be hard, but I actually find it very easy.
Okay.
You know, I've had a variety of different business partners in my entrepreneurial journey, and this is probably the easiest one. You know, April is ultimately the boss. She's the CEO. She's the visionary. What I try to do is help enable that vision, provide advice, provide guidance where needed, and ultimately allow her to make the decisions where she has a lot of expertise.
Right.
There are areas where, you know, I'll make the decision because I have a little bit more expertise. And I think we know how to balance, you know, when to give each other that right space or the
That helps.
decision-making authority.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think in life there's just two types of decisions, right? There's kind of the big ones that are hard to undo, and then the small ones that you could easily fix. I think those big ones, we really want to be very thoughtful. You think about it before you decide, and then the ones that are not so consequential, you can try to make them quick.
Quick. Okay. So, but how do you balance your lives, like work-life balance? Do you bring the work problems at home? How do you separate it?
You don't. You know, during the pandemic, we were working from home. We still partly work from home. For me, I think it's you have to enjoy your work. So it doesn't feel like a
Feel
job.
like work, yes.
You know,
true.
so every day I wake up, I don't feel like I'm going to work. I feel like, wow, I get to do something exciting and new, such as
Yeah.
being here today, right? This is work. This is pretty awesome. Second, I really think about work-life integration, where you just integrate work into your day-to-day life. And then third, there's going to be trade-offs.
Yeah.
There are going to be times where we're going to be away from the kids. We have 3 kids.
Yeah.
We were just in Paris for a week. You know, we don't like to be away from the kids, but we have to be away. But if the kids have an important school thing, we're always going to be there.
Time.
You got to make time. So I think it's just realizing that there are trade-offs when you are running your own business,
Right.
and just to accept that and to know when to be focused on one thing, work, or focused on each other, or focused on the family.
It's really about agreeing to do certain things.
Correct.
Constantly talking to each other.
It's that lifestyle that we envisioned in the very beginning.
nice.
And I actually prefer it because before when he was working in tech, he would be traveling by himself. Now we get to travel. He was just
Together.
mentioning we get to travel together, learn together. So we were just in Paris to attend IMCAS. So it's a medical convention, one of the biggest in the world.
Okay,
So
wow.
every January, 20,000 doctors, surgeons, dermatologists from all over the world convene.
Okay,
And that's where new technologies are discussed, are released. You discover like innovations in our field. So it's very, very interesting. And the fact that I get to bring him in my world, it's,
Nice.
yeah, it's nice.
I carry all the bags.
Of course. So, what would be your advice to other couples who would like to go into business together? Any tips?
Yeah. First, make sure you guys really like each other. You know, you may be boyfriend, girlfriend, you may be married. When I say like each other, like all aspects of each other. The good, maybe the not so good. And, you know, have had the ability to experience each other in all sorts of moments. The good moments and the stressful moments.
Right.
And I think to first experience that, to make sure you have, you know, the proper foundation to then build a business around. Because if you don't have that foundation of communication, of trust,
Yeah.
sharing the same values, sharing the same vision, it's going to be very difficult to be successful in a very stressful part of your life, which is building a business.
I know.
So I think having those conversations early and often are important. And I think that's what we did. The first few years of our relationship was just
Yeah, you were already discussing your
Discussing.
future vision.
Visioning. I'm a
Right.
big believer of visioning.
That's the first time I've heard actually of any couple
Yes.
talking way before about their vision.
Yeah.
It's not.
yeah. Because I
It's
think
amazing.
what I often see is couples get married
Yes.
and then there's no plan. It's like, okay, let's just get married and then we'll have kids.
It's all flying on the feeling.
But what's the life vision?
Right.
Because I'm a big believer that you can manufacture the
Wow.
life that you want.
Well, how old were you when you two first met? You sound
I was
so
like
mature.
29, 30, yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, not too young, not too old. But I think just being very deliberate about that process.
Right.
Yeah.
And you've always been like that with
Yeah.
yourself.
I think, you know, being an entrepreneur, You have to see the invisible to do the impossible. Every time that I've wanted to start a company, the first response is, no, don't do that. That's too scary. It's too hard.
Yeah.
That's too difficult. And so you often have to overcome detractors, including yourself, in order to achieve this vision that only exists in your head.
Right.
So,
You could be writing a book right now.
right. You know, so I think experiencing the fact that I built companies from scratch, from nothing, in the Philippines where I've never lived before, I think gave me the ability to say, if I can do that with business, why can't I do that with my relationship? Where rather than just being married, let's actually vision out what the ideal marriage, the ideal life could be, and let's work towards that vision. Why not, right?
Nice.
Yes.
That really,
Yes.
you
No, I'm a
you're the
big
same.
I'm a big believer of visioning. Even when I was younger, but it would be like a vision for myself, like 3 years, 5 years down the line, what do I want to achieve? And there would be like a physical, skills-wise, spiritual. So I divided it into aspects. So I think just applying that same model mentality to our relationship has really allowed us to grow. Because I think a lot of people, they go into a relationship having separate visions.
Right,
But
that's
you have
hard.
you will have a shared life.
Yeah.
So it's also important to have a shared vision so you can really support
Right.
each other
I
better.
think that's really good advice. Yeah, a lot of couples, they just go into it without really thinking about what's gonna happen afterwards.
Yeah.
2 years down the line,
Yeah.
or 5 years, 10 years,
Yeah.
if you're still together.
I think you want to have as many awkward conversations as early as possible, right? Ask the awkward, tough, weird questions that may feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to,
Before
and be
anything.
deliberate about it.
Be deliberate. Okay. Wow, I'm learning so much here. So I suppose it wasn't that perfect. I mean, starting a business, this would be your first one, right?
First
Remedy,
business.
First business.
Yes.
So what kind of challenges did you experience with Remedy, growing the business through all the years that you started out during the pandemic and then afterwards? So what was that like?
I think with the vision, it was clear from the start.
Okay.
So it wasn't really, we didn't really find it difficult creating the brand because it was so clear in our heads what we wanted to build. So I would say the biggest challenge would have been the pandemic. No one expected that. No one prepared for that. We also had to pivot from a face-to-face typical clinic setup to an online, like I mentioned earlier. And then we also needed to learn how to deliver products to our patients. We were closed half the year for years. But I think with those challenges, we also learned a lot.
Yeah.
We learned to navigate social media. And like even with those challenges, no one got laid off. We were able to
galing.
keep
Yeah,
all of our
that's
staff.
nice.
So it was all worth it.
Very nice.
The problems don't get easier, the challenges don't get easier, you just have to get better. You know, so if the challenges in the beginning were pandemic and just finding customers, right? Now the challenge is a very competitive landscape.
I was going to get into that, the competition.
Competition, a lot of clinics opening up. And so you really have to continue to differentiate yourself.
Right.
Make sure you're executing on your vision and your promise to customers. And I think just deliver results. There is this kind of a saying in startup land: you can fake being good and spend all of your time being good, or just spend all of your time being good. We try to just focus our time on just being good and delivering for the patient.
Very nice, yes. That's very important because in the end, it's the results, right?
Results
You
speak
won't
for
last
themselves.
if there are no good results.
Yes.
So Tell us about Remedy and what differentiates it from all the competition out there.
Aside from focusing on acne and acne scars, which we initially did, really the brand is built on education, efficacy, science-backed treatments, personalization, and holistic care. And I think it's just really the whole experience from the moment you walk into the clinic. I think I also have to mention like the doctor consultations. When people go in and have a doctor's consultation, they're surprised because we take long. With your initial consultation, it can last 30, 45 minutes, sometimes even an hour, because we really take, our doctors, our dermatologists really take the time to understand your skin concerns, your skin goals, your habits, your lifestyle. We help you understand your condition. We empower you with the knowledge to know how to
help yourself.
To help yourself to bring it to its healthiest state.
Right.
We make a personalized treatment plan. So yeah, I don't think a lot of clinics spend that much time talking or getting to know their patients. But I think that also goes to show how much we care. It's not a one-time visit. It's really a skin journey, and we're here to guide you.
Nice.
And then we're really developing Remedy to be like a high trust brand. It's really a journey.
So what does the future of Remedy look like in your vision? What does it look like?
So when we first started Remedy, it was acne and scars, and then just recently, last quarter of last year, we started introducing body treatments, even hair services. So we, ever since the beginning, people have been asking us for treatments to remove unwanted hair, and then during the pandemic, a lot of people lost their hair because of stress.
Okay.
So that's also in the works. Both hair removal, it's available in the clinic, but we're also R&Ding treatments that can restore hair vitality, regrow hair, minimize hair flow. But ultimately, it's really going to be around not only skin, hair, body, but overall wellness. I think especially after the pandemic, people are more conscious of their health. And I think if you really want to deliver the best results for your patient, it has to be like done in a holistic way.
Right, that's right. So, we'll continue with the talk after a short break.
And this break is brought to you by Meralco, ang liwanag ng bukas. SM, we've got it all for you. Smart. Live more today. Union Bank. It starts with you.
Usapang OFW is the show that honors the journeys of our modern-day heroes, our OFWs. Join Chingmi Fernandez, John Dodson, and Rafi Ayang every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. to hear the real stories behind the sacrifices. Watch it live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Tribune now on YouTube, and Daily Tribune Official on TikTok.
Want to hear from thought leaders shaping our world? Straight Talk with Chito Lazada and Ted Montalibano dives into leadership, politics, and business every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Catch conversation live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Tribune now on YouTube, and Daily Tribune Official on TikTok. Ready for the hot takes of today's biggest issues? Hot Patatas with Vernon Velasco and Carl Magadia delivers the news that matters. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. Tune in live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Tribune now on YouTube, and Daily Tribune Official on TikTok, where the real talk happens.
Utol, once just a colloquial term for a brother or sister. Today, the same term stands for a better option to your transportation needs. Unified Transport Operations League, or better known as Utol, was established to give you an alternative to ride-hailing, with the concept of availing the service with care and compassion, as if it was rendered by your own sibling.
Utol ka ba? Dito ka na. Utol ka, iingatan kita.
Now, who would you prefer to drive you home?
Utol ako, mangangalaga sa'yo.
Utol, the ride-hailing app to consider.
We're back on Pairfect with Remedy founders, Paul and April. So, what were we talking about before?
Future remedy.
The future of remedy, right? So more clinics.
Definitely more clinics, and definitely expanding into wellness.
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 So I was going to ask, you have both male and female clients, right? How much more female do you have? Or is it more male or more female? What's the
Yeah.
percentage?
Still more female, but it's a significant portion of males. Yeah, so when you go in the clinic at a given time, I'm pretty sure there will be a
You'll
male,
see.
a male patient
And
there.
what kind of skin problems do they go to remedy for?
Well, aside
Acne.
from acne, aside from wanting to treat scars, you know, people are really concerned with skin quality. Men in the Philippines, they don't wear makeup. They don't wear
Yeah.
coverage. Now that everything's face to face, people care about looking good, looking presentable. Yeah, so they come for that too.
So for the men, it's still skin, not hair, not body.
Yes. Yeah,
It's
for
really
now, it's
skin.
primarily skin.
Same with women.
Same with women, but women are more, once we solve their initial problems, it multiplies to body, brightening, toning.
Okay. So what are the latest treatments that are offered in remedy that people may want to check out?
In the last 3 months, we've launched our first body treatment. So it's called Zionic. It's a brand that's from Spain. So it's made by Termosalud company in Spain. So they've been around for 30 years. And we chose to carry that brand because it's very effective. People now are looking for non-invasive ways to get fit, get toned, and this is something that can complement their work at the gym. So that's
What
one
does it
body.
do?
So it helps tone the muscles, it helps tighten the skin, it helps reduce pockets of fat.
Nice.
And yeah, so it's something that can be part of your overall fitness routine. So that was one of the body treatments that we launched recently, in addition to the laser hair removal, which our patients have always asked us about. Last year, we also introduced Skin Pen. So that was very successful, and it's the first US FDA cleared microneedling device that helps with a wide range of problems. Our patients use it to address fine lines, pores, pigmentation. You can use it for the face, neck, body. So that has been really popular.
Yeah, I've heard about
Yeah, Skin Pen.
the pen.
Yes, very good.
The mighty pen.
Yes, it is mighty. And I think just recently in the last month, we also launched BioJuve. So this is more aligned with our thrust for skin health.
Okay.
So aside from just like physical fitness, I'm sure you're familiar with gut health. So BioJuve, it's the first product of its class. So what they found in clinical studies is if you normalize the skin, natural skin flora, you're also able to see improvements in hydration, in wrinkling, in oil control. So yeah.
What is it? Is it
It's
machine?
products.
The world's first skin
Skin.
probiotic.
I see.
The easy analogy is it's yogurt for your face. It's not
Nice.
actually yogurt, but
Yeah, but
it's a specific strain of bacteria that was researched for 10 years, C. acnes defendus, that if you put it in your skin, it actually starts to eat the sebum, all of the bad stuff, and releases all of the good stuff. So it's a phenomenal product.
nice. So it's something you drink?
Apply.
Apply?
Yeah.
Very easy. Very easy.
Very nice.
Yeah, so there's so many, like I mentioned earlier, so many new innovations happening in our field. I think another trend that we're seeing is just going back to, I guess, like around 5 years ago, everyone's doing 10-step Korean regimen. And remember that everybody was DIYing, and then probably like 2 years ago, especially in the US, people started doing a lot of fillers.
Right.
Now they're getting it dissolved, and now people are going the natural way. Like, what
So
can
that's
we
the
do?
biggest direction you're seeing
Yes.
aesthetics.
Yes, it's
going.
people are getting things dissolved. They want to improve skin quality.
Mm-hmm.
They want to promote skin health. They want their skin to look good even without makeup.
Yes, that would be ideal.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a question here. You mentioned that you've been able to capture the male market because of Remedy's whole branding. But how do you promote your services to the male market and ensure that they feel comfortable knowing that the treatments are tailored for them, for male skin?
Yeah, I think it's not only like male, female. All of our
Mm-hmm.
treatments are personalized. So because everyone is different,
Right.
so you can't just generalize and have one treatment for males. But I think it helps that our patients
Mm-hmm.
the patients who come to the clinic, they share their experiences on social media. They leave reviews. When our male patients go to the clinic, they see other male patients there. So there's not really a specific treatment that we market to males. I think we just create an environment that they feel comfortable
Comfortable, yeah.
going to.
Okay. So I've been learning a lot from the two of you, and I'm seeing how your dynamics making this whole venture work, the way it's working. So what do you two love about working with each other?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first is the vision that we had, 15 years ago. It's happening. So the fact that you kind of set out a vision and a plan and you're able to do it together is amazing. I love spending time with April and my wife. Many people, when they're married, they actually don't get to spend a lot of time. They're almost living separate lives. They're in one job, another job, and maybe they see each other a little bit in the morning, a little bit at night. We kind of see each other almost all day long, for better or worse. And then we get to kind of wake up and do things, right? There's kind of this meme now on the internet where you can just do things. We can just build clinics, right? So this ability to have an idea and say, okay, let's do it, is amazing.
Nice.
And I like one thing that I also personally appreciate is I love bouncing off ideas. I think just coming from his background, it's very different from the medical field.
Right.
So I definitely value his input. And I ask for it a lot. Because I think you just have to be open to input. So I don't think that my ideas are the best.
Right.
He's my filter. He's a different lens. And I think that's been key to our success in growing Remedy.
She says no a lot to me.
Really?
Try again.
And you're still smiling.
Yeah. She's the boss.
That's great. Okay, so before we end the show, perhaps you'd like to say a few words to our viewers about Remedy, about whatever you want to say, about just doing things.
Yeah. Well, I hope you get to visit any one of our clinics. So we have clinics in BGC, Vertis North and QC, soon in Greenhouse, and try out the Remedy experience for yourselves.
If you are, with a partner, if you're married, I always encourage people to start businesses, and if you have the ability to start it with your husband or your wife and want some advice, happy to chat anytime.
All right, so visit Remedy. It's a good experience, even if they just want to have a consultation. That's fine, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's the way it should start.
Yeah, even if they just want a skin analysis.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so try it. Men and women.
Yes. For
So,
everyone.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Dina.
Two of you.
It was fun.
Dr. April and Paul, for sharing your journey and expertise with us today. So it's very inspiring to see how their passion for dermatology and innovation is reshaping the world of skincare. To our viewers, remember, Taking care of your skin goes beyond beauty. It's about understanding and investing in your health. And with the right guidance and treatments, achieving healthy, glowing skin is entirely within reach. So this is Dinah Ventura encouraging you to prioritize self-care and trust in the solutions that work for you. Until next time, keep glowing and stay curious, everyone.
This public service announcement is brought to you by Meralco.
Alam nyo ba kung saan napupunta ang binabayad nyo sa Meralco? Dito sa series na ito, isa-isahin natin yan para maipaliwanag ko po sa inyong lahat. Ako po si Josel Dariaga ng Meralco Corporate Communication Office. Alam nyo ba na pag nagbabayad kayo ng bill sa kuryente, nasa mga 20% lang on the average ang napupunta sa Meralco? Sa katotohanan, nahahati sa iba't ibang components ang inyong electricity bill. Kumbaga parang pizza lang yan. Kasama sa binabayaran natin ay ang generation charge na napupunta sa generation companies o mga nag-ooperate ng power plants, transmission charge na napupunta sa System Grid Operator ng Pilipinas, na National Grid Corporation of the Philippines, at iba-ibang charges na napupunta sa gobyerno. Tulad po ito ng mga subsidies, taxes, universal charges at fit-all. Kung tutuusin, tulad nga nabanggit ko, nasa around 20% on the average ang kabuang bill ang binabayad sa Meralco sa pamamagitan ng distribution charge. Ito na ang pinaka-epektibong sistema para sa electricity consumers. Iwas abala ito para hindi na isa-isahin pang bayaran ng iba't ibang kumpanya na dinadaanan ng kuryente. Naway, nabigyan linaw ko po kayo kahit papano sa inyong mga katanungan ukol sa inyong electricity bill. Hanggang sa muli, ako po si Manong Joe, ang inyong lingkod.